Hi, my name is Sarah McHugh and I'm at store 067 in Gurnee, Illinois, and this is my canvas Heather. Previously, during our consultation, we talked about how she wants a low maintenance color and she wants to see that blonde. Therefore, we're going to definitely give her those money pieces while doing a drop root. And in combination to get her to that lightness, we're going to do some microweaves, also known as baby lights, with some T-slices and some chunky weaves. That also being said, we did prep her hair with a pre-arc treatment just to take out any sort of mineral buildup, any sort of product buildup, anything that can get in my way. I just wanted to have a clean canvas. Following that, we did do a cat treatment, which is going to ensure any sort of breakage that could possibly happen and ensure the integrity of her hair. So now we're going to start and get her sectioned off. Now that I have Heather sectioned off, I'm going to mix up my lightener. The lightener I'm choosing to use is the Redken Flash Lift. Reason being is I can utilize all peroxide developers to ensure that she's going to lift evenly and at the same time. It also has provitamin B5, which is going to help the strength of her hair. So the first thing I'm going to do is section off around her face. Reason being, this is where I want to start my microweave, which is also known as a baby light. And I'm going to do this right in front of her face. Reason being is there's not going to be any harsh lines. I'm gonna make sure I get that foil in there nice and tight. A good trick with the foil is going in and over directing that hair and bringing that foil underneath it. Therefore, I'm going to get that seamless blend and right up to that scalp. So I'm taking my Flash Lift, which has 10 volume in it with pH bonder. I'm just going to paint that on. I want to keep my brush flat because if I turn it this way, that's how you get those warm spots, and I want to ensure that this is going to lift as high as I need it to go. So I'm going to start with a microweave, which is also known as a baby light, like I've said. I'm going to start with a microweave, which means I'm going to end with a microweave. And the best trick for a microweave is the closer you get to the scalp, the smaller it's going to be. If you hold it down here, it's going to be nearly impossible to get a perfect microweave. The reason I'm also starting in front of the face here is because that's what we see. That's what we see the most. So we want that to obviously be the brightest. Everything's going to be nice and bright, but this is where I want to start with that lower developer so we can get that slow, steady lift. The next section that I'm going to do after we did that microweave, so we did a microweave in front around the face and then down by the ear. The next one I'm going to take is going to be a chunky weave. And this last section. So in between the microweave and the chunky weave, we've left out hair. Coming into this slice that I'm going to tease, we're not going to leave any hair out in between. When teasing the hair, you want to come midway down the hair shaft and bring it up. If it stops, take your comb out, replace it in, and push it up. So we're gonna do that 3 times. You can see my section has gotten thinner. This is going to help with that blend, so we don't have any sort of harsh lines. So I just want to bring up those treatments once again, the cat treatment and the pre-art. I do have a little saying for it, especially when lifting the hair as much as we're going to be today, is you got to beef it up before you beat it up. Since I have more hair in this section, I'm not going to fold this foil. I'm going to place another one on top of it. I'm also going to go in and on that harsh line. I'm just going to lightly push that up to diffuse that line even more. And then I'm just going to repeat up this side of the head throughout the back. So now that we have gotten through these side quadrants and the back quadrants, starting with a peroxide of 10 and moving to a peroxide of 20, coming into these money pieces to keep her nice and bright, and so the top processes along with everything else, we have pumped up the volume to 30. I'm going to start with these money pieces down the center, and the way that they're sectioned is so it can be a universal part, because she does flip her hair. So I want to make sure that she's going to get that brightness everywhere. I'm going to start with doing a microweave, going onto a slice to another microweave, and I'll demonstrate that. Moving on from that microweave, we are going to take a very thin slice. And we're not going to leave any hair out in between that slice and that microweave. Okay, so moving into this top section, I'm going to take a slice, probably about 1/4 of an inch, if that. I'm going to make sure I have a nice clean line. We're going to clip the rest of the hair out of the way, and we're going to work forward. So all these foils until I get about midway is going to come forward, and then I'll work from the back and meet myself in the middle. So what I'm going to do with this strand is I'm going to tease this one. And we're going to use the same pattern. So I'm going to start, instead of starting with the weave, I'm going to start with a tease slice and then move to my micro weave, chunky weave, tease slice, micro weave, and start my pattern over.